The intercom buzzed and the gate lock switched. For the first time since last winter, I walked up the cemented staircase and breathed in that musty ancient scent. Big Chinese characters were written on the wall, indicating exactly which floor I was on. First floor, second floor, then third floor. The red floor mat that said peace was no longer there. The gate that my grandfather always used to crack open was no longer open. I could hear laughter, children running around. That used to be me. I was the one that laughed, that spent hours exploring every corner of the house. Until this day, I could still tell you everything about that place. The exact lineup and structure, that little black spot on the tile of the bathroom. And at that point, I wanted so badly to just ring the doorbell and take one last look around. But it was too late. He was gone. And this familiar place was only getting more and more foreign. I looked down at the picture I have of us. Our heads close together, my arm around him, his teeth showing through his warm but painful smile. That was our last picture together, and we both knew damn well that when he asked to take that picture, it would be our last time together before I left for boarding school again. February 9th, 2017. It was just another Thursday I was spending in the library studying. But then I got a text from my mom. It wasn't just any text. This text was in Chinese. My mom, she definitely tries to type in English whenever she can, but this time was different. 公公而家喺急症室，幫佢祈禱, she said. Your grandfather's in the ER, pray for him. I closed my eyes and put my hands together. All my friends knew I was probably the most Christian anyone could be. I read the Bible, went to the church, prayed at least 3 times a day. God had my back, or so I thought. 10 minutes later, I got another text. 公公啱啱死咗. Your grandfather just died. Then I got a FaceTime call in the middle of history class. I ran out of the class, and on my small iPhone screen, I looked at my grandfather. His eyes closed, lips slightly cracked open, him skinnier than I ever remembered him being. I dropped on the carpet floor. Stop crying, look strong. Your grandfather wouldn't want to see you like this, Mom said. I hated the idea. We're always pretending, looking strong for people, making decisions based on what we think other people want to see and hear. Until the last second with my grandfather, I was pretending to be strong. But I did as my mom said anyway, just like I always did. I wiped off the tears on my face and said my last words to him. I love you, and that was it. My grandfather was no longer with me, and the call just made it official. My mom was wrong. My grandfather never wanted me to pretend to be anything. When I was with him, it was just me and him, nothing superficial, no trying to impress him. I never felt like that with anyone else, and that's what's so messed up about it. Losing my grandfather meant losing myself. And all I was left with was a constant pretending and living up to expectations. Here's a little fun fact you should know about me. I have a sibling, a brother. He's in my grade, but we're not twins. So yeah, a lot of you have siblings, right? So you must know there's this thing called the better sibling and the not better sibling. I was the better sibling. I was better at school, better at arts, better at impressing other parents, but most importantly, I was just better at obeying laws. And Marcus, not so much. I will say he was better at sports, but no one cares about sports in Hong Kong. He was constantly getting yelled at, and hearing the phrases that were being thrown at him, how he wasn't trying hard enough, wasn't like me enough, I felt bad. How could you not? But I never did anything. All I did was sit in my room with my door wide open, listening clearly to every word that was being said to him. Because not gonna lie, within this feeling of guilt and empathy, there was a sense of reassurance and satisfaction. Because that was the only way I knew my parents approved of me, maybe were even proud of me. All my life, I've been going after this idea of being good enough for my parents, and that idea got me going. They wanted the best for me, and somehow, as perfect as a kid I seemed, I still didn't feel like I was good enough. But it never occurred to me I was never going to be good enough or smart enough or anything enough for them. I studied hard because of them, believed in Christ because of them. I dressed the way they wanted me to, talked to the friends they approved of, but never did I question why I was doing any of the things. And when I questioned myself for the first time, my life took a sudden turn, and I was left alone with depression on my side. What did I want? I asked myself. I had no idea. My life was planned out for me, and it was planned out so well that I didn't even know what I wanted. I reminded myself of all the things that mattered to me. My parents, the grades, the money, the success, but that didn't motivate me anymore. I didn't want those things. I've never wanted those things. It was just a matter of when I would find out. What was I working towards? Why was I studying? Why was I Christian? What was the purpose of my life? My mind was blank. Nothing to do, nothing to think about, nothing to work for, nothing to look forward to. It was as if I was walking on the street, then I got lost. I had two choices, either to keep walking, knowing I could be going the completely wrong way, or to stop. I stopped. Just as I stopped studying, praying, attending social events, more and more I found myself lying on the same pillow, staring at the same white ceiling in my dorm room, scrolling through the same pictures on my phone, playing the same goddamn game of Candy Crush. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. All I wanted to do was curl up in bed and cry. All of a sudden, I found myself in the same corner of my bedroom, hearing the same phrases about my brother not being good enough, not like me enough, the same phrases that made me smile, that once motivated me to succeed, but it wasn't the same. I wasn't happy with that anymore. I didn't feel safe, satisfied, or reassured. Because I was the one who deserved to be yelled at, not he. I was the one not getting anywhere in life. I was the one not getting good enough grades, not smart enough to even figure out what I wanted. I was hurting, more painful than any injury I've had. That pain came from the inside, but worst of all, I was alone. I didn't have anyone to talk to. My friends wouldn't understand, my parents wouldn't accept me, and my grandfather, he was gone. February 16th, 2019. I watched my phone switch from 2359 to 0000. I'm 18. I looked at a picture. The same picture I spent hours crying over, our heads close together, my arm around him, his teeth showing through his warm but painful smile. I smiled back. Because I found new people in my life who I can be myself with. Thank you. This means more to me than you could ever imagine. And because you know what they say, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. Thank you.